does Multotec's extensive footprint on the African continent position the company to provide its customers with the highest performance from equipment, while also providing rapid access to quality support services? And obviously, what is the benefit of this position to both Multotec and the industry clients it serves?
Look, our motto for the last 2 decades was that Africa is our oyster. So to give a bit of context to that is that over the last 22 years, we've expanded and invested in an extensive network across sub-Saharan Africa and even higher up into Africa through establishing regional subsidiaries, Multotec subsidiaries. We engaged with local stakeholders in terms of distributors and agents across Africa to support our investment strategy. And this allowed us the following. We focus a lot on long-term sustainable partnerships. Number one, our customers. From a Multotec perspective, our customers are key. So we try to stay as close as possible to our customers. Number two, partnerships with local communities, with our local employees, with suppliers, subcontractors, local governments, in order for us to ensure that they can see the value add of a company like Multotec in that specific location or region. And then number three, also very important, is a long-term sustainable partnership with our peers in the market. As an example, a lot of projects get driven not necessarily in Africa, but by EPCM companies or engineering companies outside of Africa, sometimes Canadian, sometimes Australian, sometimes even out of South Africa. And we try to build the partnerships on that level that we do justice to the expectations of our customers. By executing this type of strategy, we create confidence, stakeholder confidence. Now, stakeholders is both upstream and downstream, as I've mentioned, and eventually that results into shareholder value for us in the long run.
Yeah. You've briefly touched on this already, but obviously Multotec has fully functional subsidiaries in Botswana, Mozambique, Zambia and Ghana, which employ over 200 local people. And then obviously beyond a traditional Southern African base, your network extends into the DRC, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Mauritania and Burkina Faso, meaning that a third of your turnover is generated through these branches and partners. Could you talk to me on whether the company has any expansion plans outside of these regions? And then how do the regions you operate in influence your business environment, service or products, and how are you able to provide to these customers?
Okay, to your first question, we've got in our African subsidiaries directly around about 200 employees, and then we also have about 100 subcontractors working 99.9% just on Multotec related projects. To answer your question this way, we are very cautious about our investment strategy. We're currently focusing on expanding our footprint in Morocco. We also have made a decision to expand our support infrastructure in Guinea on the demand and need from our customers as the Guinea mining environment is growing. And then lastly, but I think also more importantly, is Central Africa, but more to the west of Central Africa, countries like Congo-Brazzaville, Gabon and Cameroon are currently also in our line of sight in terms of developing a potential service infrastructure in those 3 countries. What happens in the various regions? Look, it's commodity driven. As an example, Central Africa focus mainly at this stage on, when I talk about Central Africa, I specifically refer to Zambia and the DRC, mainly copper. There is also other commodities, but I would say over 85% of the commodity base in those 2 countries is actually copper and cobalt. So we align ourselves with the commodity cycle. And you see the same exactly in East Africa, or for that matter in West Africa, North Africa, the same. Botswana, obviously a lot of diamonds. I mean, it's mainly, the economy is mainly driven by diamonds and copper, a bit of copper and a bit of gold, and then obviously also coal. But I think that has always been our strategy, and our product portfolio aligns itself with a specific commodity. Different types of mineral processing equipment goes into different types of commodities, and I think that is a way we've always approached a region, to align our product suit to a specific commodity.
Fantastic. Then just staying with your subsidiaries, and obviously you've touched on it a little bit already, is each subsidiary equipped with the necessary workshops? And then obviously, do any of your regions or subsidiaries specialize in something that the others do not? I think that's sort of where the commodity focus
For
fits.
sure, yes. I mean, to answer you, I think it's important to realize that we not only have our own fabrication or workshop capabilities, but we also make use of a lot of local subcontractors. It's very important for us to pull them in and make them part of our teams. Thereby, we sort of facilitate the uplifting and the local business footprint. But at this stage, if I can give you a few examples, in Mozambique, as an example, we would focus a lot on the refurbishment of our classification equipment. In Botswana, we would do a lot of local steel fabrication, light engineering fabrication, and then we do surface protection of that fabricated equipment before it goes into the mining industry. And you know, we would sort of be very flexible in terms of what the customer needs are. I think the important thing is that we, through our fabrication facilities, we align that actually with the product suite that goes into a specific market.
Great. That also feeds nicely into the next question. Why is there such an importance placed on fabricating your products locally, and why is this critical for success and the communities or regions where your company operates in?
Well, first of all, you know, local content, being able to work from a local footprint, ensure that you can create speed to market. You again create confidence with your customers that you've got the ability to fabricate locally. It also allows us to support our standard mineral processing equipment, and I think that is, you know, the way that we've always gone about in creating local fabrication, local field service maintenance support. It's always, you know, the product line and the technical fabricating field service maintenance, they actually integrated, and that's why it's been important to try to move people from South Africa into the various regions. It's not feasible, it's not sustainable. Hence the initiative to create the local competencies and ability to do fabrication, to do maintenance, to do condition monitoring.
Great, thank you. And then another vital part of the strategy has been skills development, and Multotec prioritizes training of its people, especially in management, after-sales support and preventative maintenance. Could you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's at this stage, most probably one of our biggest drives in our company, to localize, to ensure that, you know, all stakeholders that is associated with Multotec are on par with our expectations and also the expectation of our customers in terms of the ability to manage, in terms of the ability to give technical input, to give maintenance input, and also then just general service. I think over the last 10 years, the focus has moved more towards local content, local support base, and we're in the process of not only training our own employees, but we also give a lot of in-depth training to our customers, to our suppliers, to our subcontractors, and that allows us to give a certain standard of equipment and service into the market.
Great, thank you. And then just lastly, as the mining industry benefits from high prices in commodities like gold, nickel, copper, lithium and coal, Multotec continues to grow its support, which means expanding its production capacities to accommodate increased demand across the full scope of products supplied into the continent. Have you found that there's an increased demand for these products and services that Multotec offers, and could you possibly pinpoint what the reason for this is?
Look, as I said to you in the beginning, that our motto is Africa's our oyster. We want to stay as close as possible to our customers, and the mere fact that we are in the region or local, We've got a competent team on the operational level that allows us to grow with our customers. So as the commodity cycle fluctuate, our customers will naturally pull us in. We obviously through that we increase revenue, and we try to be flexible and nimble enough not to add unnecessarily expense or into our system. I think the important thing here is that if there's confidence between yourself and the customer is happy with the service that you give, they will naturally just pull you into the business as the commodity cycle swings for the positive. And this is what we've seen in the last 2 years. I mean, there's a very bullish market in the commodities that you just now mentioned, and we've also were happy to reap the benefits of our local presence.